New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
Hey.
Hey. No, we never said who was going to kick it off. So you might as well kick it off. We never decided. We just prayed.
Well, here we go. Welcome to the High Vibe Hour with Reverend Skip Jennings. Tell them who you are.
I'm Reverend Skip Jennings. It's my absolute honor and privilege to be here today. I'm a teacher and author, a minister. I'm also a yoga and retreat facilitator. And there is something in the atmosphere, but I'm celebrating because I know it's all good.
Ooh, okay, that's a cliffhanger. I'm Rev Julie Moret. I am an inspirational speaker and spiritual teacher at the Agape International Spiritual Center, founded and directed by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. And I love these hours, Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I love when we get together to have like a bigger chunk of time to sink into what's happening in the world. How can I take care of myself? That's especially important to me today. How can I take care of my nervous system so I can get clear enough to be the beneficial difference that makes a difference on the planet at this time? So I'm all good with this day. And Liz, we're always happy to see you here. Welcome, welcome.
In cold Buffalo, New York. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So what has this week been like for you?
Oh, it's been interesting. We've had this myriad of emotional things to happen in our world. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But I know energetically I'm feeling heavy. There's this heaviness, and it's not a bad things. I don't believe in dualities. I don't believe in bad things. I really truly believe that we are experiencing something energetically together. There is this energy and vibration that is coming up that wants to separate us. And yet I know that this is bringing forth a deeper experience of unity. So for me, this week has been, drink a lot of tea. Make sure you drink a lot of tea. Make sure you drink a lot of tea. Make sure you meditate, pray. Didn't miss a meditation this week at all. Going really deep into this connection, this conversation with God. So it is powerful for me, yet we can still feel the heaviness of what's happening energetically. So it's been up and down, a myriad of emotions. It's been all good.
Yeah. Elishiva, I'm always happy to see your name pop up.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome. And yeah, this week we're doing something with visualization. So last week we were doing the life visioning process by Michael Bernard Beckwith, which is becoming open and available to God, source, spirit's greatest idea of itself as your life. And this week we're going to use our imagination to visualize what it is that you do desire. Like, what's the world that you want to live in? Because a lot of what's happening around me right now is not what I want to be about. It's not stuff that I agree with. It's not okay with me. And I really want to dive into some practices to help soothe out our nervous systems.
Sure.
And do something which is visualizing what we do want. So we start to shift the energy in the direction of what we do desire as opposed to what we do not, in ways that are impactful. There's somebody in my community that I really love, like really smart, beautiful person. And this person rolled up on an ICE facility with ICE members outside and started screaming at them from the top of their lungs and cursing at them. And I saw that and I was like, oh, wow, we need to just take the heat down some so we can be impactful. I don't want that person to get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure,
and I feel like there's a lot of that energy out there. So I'm really looking forward to taking some actions that make a difference today. Yeah, for sure. But I have something I want to share first.
Yeah, what has your week been like?
Oh, dude. Okay, so that's what I want to show you. I don't know if it can show up on this camera. So I was having my tea this morning. It was very early, sun's rising, and let me see, can you I am in an
Whoa.
apartment that is very high up, and a hawk came and landed on my balcony and stayed there for a while. I have a feeling Elisheva might know the spiritual meaning of hawks, but
Absolutely.
if any of you do, it's like it's just this really power energy, and the fact that a hawk came to a very high up, high rise apartment building. And I've been in this place for 2 years, never even seen a hawk anywhere nearby. So that was a big message to me to dive very sincerely into my spiritual practice, that there's
Sure.
opportunity here, there's an empowerment here, there's an opportunity to grow spiritually. So the message that I got was like, oh, I really need to anchor in today. So that's going to be a lot of my work today, is
Yeah.
about like very sincerely, with earnestness and sincerity. Um,
Mm. And
as Michael Bernard Beck, incline my ears so I may hear the word of God.
yes, exactly. What is spiritual meaning behind hawks are, and I love spirit animals, so I follow spirit animals, and so it is vision. Hawk means vision. It means focus. It means intuition and freedom. It's
Mhm.
urging you to gain clarity, rise above challenges, and see a bigger picture with sharp insights. This is really important. With sharp insights, acting as a messenger from the divine or spirit world, representing strength, divine communication, and swift action in pursuit of your goals. That's what the hawk means. When it
I
lands
love
on your
it.
balcony, boo, it's like, okay, you ready? Are you really ready? Okay, here we go. Get ready
Right.
because we're
And
we're in it.
that's my theme for this year. I
Yeah.
was talking to somebody about all the different things, opportunities coming to me, things that I think I want. And she said, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And so I decided that's
Ooh.
my theme for this year, is I am ready. So I'm
Mm,
inviting, folks, as you're listening, like, our thoughts have massive impact on us. So what is your theme? Could you decide a theme for this year?
yeah.
What is it for you? And so mine is I'm ready. Boom.
We did this
Boom,
in
boom,
our
boom.
yoga class this week. We set an intention, and I did it in my cycling class yesterday as well. For I teach at Equinox, and I was teaching a spinning class yesterday. I gave everyone, okay, we're going to set 3 intentions for 3 stages of the ride. First stage is the set an intention for your health and fitness. How do you want your health and fitness to look like? What do you want to look like? And I was saying, just imagine it. You don't have to actually physically be in there, and the quantum field is already being done. There's a quantum idea of your body does not know the difference from what is actually happening. So envision your health and fitness. What would it feel like to be painless? What would it feel like to move through with ease and grace, to sit down and pick up your shoes without going ooh in your back? What would that feel like? Second
Oh,
stage, we said, what set the intention for how do you want your finances to look like? What would it feel like if you knew all needs were met? I'm saying this in the middle of a cycling class. I'm going, God, you're in control of the cycle class. And then the last stage is, what do you want your relationships to look like? We're not talking about intimacy. We're talking about the full out expression of how do you want to show up on this planet.
right.
People came to me at the end of class, went, wow, you're on one, Rev. I was like, I know.
Yeah, that's
you know,
beautiful.
it's part of the
Spiritual
vision.
awakening everywhere, even in our yoga
Everywhere.
classes,
Yes.
everywhere.
It's all good in the hood. Whew, what a week
I love
already, huh?
that. I love that. I read something this morning in part of my spiritual practice. It came from Howard Thurman's For the Inward Journey,
Mm,
and
ooh,
it
I love that
really
book.
it really like struck a chord for me. It's interesting because this was written like decades ago, and
Mhm.
it sounds like it was handwritten for today. And he spoke about remaining at peace, which I
Yeah.
thought was really interesting. He said, accustom yourself to remain at peace in the depth of your heart.
Mm,
Peace anywhere seems to be wishful thinking during the days of turmoils within and violences without. But we want to have we want to create peace of mind and heart, peace of home, peace of country, peace of world, peace of cosmos. And he goes on, and he's talking about how do we establish peace within ourselves when the world feels so crazy. And he gave this story of a young girl who was with her dad, and they went into a physician's office, and she was she had a lame foot, right? And so she's in the doctor's office, and the doctor does this manipulation on her, and she screams in such pain, and everybody in the waiting room like gets really nervous because like they're waiting to go in there next, and somebody's screaming. And so later that afternoon, one of the people that had been in the waiting room came up to the dad and said, like, I'm so sorry for all the pain your daughter felt. And the dad said, well, thank you, but you don't understand. She's been coming to him for weeks, and that's the first time she ever felt anything in her foot. She's alive.
Hey.
There is aliveness in her foot. And what that came up, what that brought up for me is I want to make sure that I'm staying alive to what's happening around me.
Yeah.
Because we're being asked to do two things right now. We're being asked to bear witness to crazy when crazy's happening. And there's enough crazy, so you can pick your crazy. There's a lot of crazy that's happening in the world right now. And at the same time, you know, folks got to take their kids to school. We got to go to work. We got to, you know, have business meetings. We need to function in the world. But please, dear God, like that little girl felt the pain in her foot. Let's be alive to what's happening in the world. And then we're going to do some tools and practices today so that we can become effective, not just reactive, right?
And before because we're about to jump in, I think we're already in it. We already jumped in. Yeah. So what kind of tea are you drinking this morning, sis? That's okay. I love your enthusiasm. What kind of tea are you drinking this morning? Because people love to know the tea.
Yeah, I'm doing chamomile, and I've been, I have chamomile flowers, and I've been steeping them. And I did peppermint last night with peppermint leaves. And I've just been really feeling like simple and soothing, just simple and soothing. And I want to highlight this because a lot of times I think I'm fine. Like how many times do people say, I'm fine, everything's fine. And it just occurred to me here reading that story today of like, oh, there's aliveness in that girl's foot. Like I want to be alive to what's happening. I want to be alive to shootings that seem really not okay. And I want to be able to be impactful in a way that makes a difference and is not just knee-jerk reaction. Like I want to know how best to impact in this moment, but I want to be alive to this moment, right?
Yeah.
But absolutely. Not consumed by it. That's the difference. So chamomile tea, I'm soothing my nervous system. And I don't know if you can see, my neck is bright red. It is never bright red. I am having such a like intense look at my neck. It's getting red.
I know, I'm seeing. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, I'm having like a really intense reaction to being alive because before I read that story, my neck was fine. But I read it and I think I'm feeling like, oh, wow, stuff's going on. And when I really feel it, oh, I have a response to it. I'm going to be like the color of a tomato by the time we finish today. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll soothe out.
Well, this morning, you're looking like my flower buds here. This morning, I threw 2 flower buds in there. And the 2 flower buds I put in there.
Is that
from Bloom?
Will you hold it up even closer?
That's a Bloom. The flowers at the very bottom, and
I have got to order that. That's gorgeous.
Oh, it's so good. And the 2 I put in today was Jasmine Love and Eternal Love. One is a green tea, one's a jasmine tea. And what I learned that this is an incredible form of meditation. Just you pour it in, you just watch it bloom. And I've been watching it bloom inside the tea kettle, watch it open up. That's my point of focus. That is my meditation, to be able to go, thank you, God, for this tea, and watching each flower begin to take shape and to open up to the fullness. And I look at this is us as we are going on the spiritual journey. We're opening up, and Spirit says, just watch yourself grow. You're opening. And the one thing I realized about these buds, you can't go back into the bud. It's already been open. It's just like us. We can't go back into the bud. It's just like us. We can't go back into our cocoon. We can try, but can you imagine if you took this wet tea flower and tried to put it back in the, what a messy, yucky kind of feeling it would be. This is a representation of our spiritual journey.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. I just saw
Stop scratching.
I saw Elishiva. I know,
Yeah.
look at my neck.
I know. I'm watching you, sis. Oh my
I am like
goodness.
intending to be alive to this moment, and I have a big response. Like, you know what, I'm gonna be a little political, but
Okay.
well, I was watching Fox News, and one of the reporters on Fox News, even, I forget her name, but she was very factual, and she was calling things out, and like things that are being said from the administration are just completely not accurate. And so I just so appreciate people speaking truth with fact, you know?
Yeah.
And so anyway, just it anyway.
No, well, look,
But I saw,
listen. I'm going to ask you a question though, and it's okay for us to, because I don't believe in a duality. I don't believe there's politics. I don't believe there's spiritual. I just believe it's all intertwining now, but we're finding the freedom to talk about it. Are you hopeful that we're seeing a shift in the way we are moving forward in our political government and leadership? Are you hopeful? Do you see the shift? Do you feel it in this new vision that we're having in this new year, Reverend Julie?
huh?
Do you feel it? Do you see that it's
Um,
unfolding? It's something new that's coming from this.
so
There will be a shift.
that is not my experience with the administration. I think what really, I don't like it when you see something with your own eyes and people say, like, you see the sky is blue and somebody's like, no, that's green. It's green. It's green.
Mm,
And so
mm,
I think that's why more than ever I feel like it's really important that I do my work and I keep my harmony and my balance and my peace, because our energetic
mm,
frequency, astrophysicists say, if you wave your hand in one place, it has ripple effects that extend out. So I'm
mm.
hoping if I can stay sane and balanced and clear, then that ripple effect goes out. And
Yeah.
hopefully enough people feel that kind of calm and peace and ease and balance. And I wanted to say, Elishiva was talking about what's working for her, and frankincense and ashwagandha. And
Mhm.
yeah, I do 1 drop of frankincense in my hands and I rub it together and I do 10
Mm,
breaths in,
I'm
and it
smelling
goes
frankincense
right
right now.
into the nervous system.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So I love, and I think it's one of the things I wanted to really speak to today is what works for you,
Mm,
as we're listening, what are the things that help you stay grounded? And like I mentioned, I'm talking about something that feels crazy to me, but there's enough crazy to go around. So that may not be somebody's
absolutely.
thing, but there are other things happening in the world. And how do you tend to yourself, whether it's meditation, whether it's walks in nature, whether
Mhm.
it's yoga or deep breaths or spiritual reading, or, I have a cozy sweater on today. I have a necklace that was given to me by my spiritual mentor. I have these bracelets on that came from a badass female shaman, Elisa
Mhm.
Cost. And so I'm like doing things to really fortify myself. And so that's the invitation, is like, what
Yeah.
works for you, right?
I
And
think
to do it and have
yeah.
nourishing foods and warm, cozy teas, maybe not as much caffeine, like really,
Mm,
how are you soothing yourself? Because whether somebody's aware of it or not, we are impacted by what's occurring in the world around us. And
yeah.
so, I think like that hawk landing on my balcony this morning, I think we're all getting, because you're listening and I'm sharing that, we're all getting these like wake up calls, like, pay attention. There's something here for you to be in this moment. What's yours to be? And how can
Mm.
you take care of yourself enough that you can be it effectively and impactfully and safely?
I think one of the most important things for me that has kept me pretty sane is listening to people that I deem as my spiritual teacher. One of the things that I listen to Take Back Your Mind all the time. That's Michael Beckwith's podcast. For those who don't know who Michael Beckwith is, he has a great podcast called Take Back Your Mind, and he said something that was very, very important. He said it 2 weeks in a row. So I know if he says it 2 weeks in a row, that's his message for those 2 weeks. He says you don't shift this world with force, you shift with frequency. And so for me, it's so important. Yeah, this is what Michael said, but what does it truly mean to me? It was my own personal invitation to take this idea. Am I leading with frequency on the 405, or am I leading with force? Is this conversation from frequency, or is this conversation from force? Do you want to convince someone to believe the way you believe, or are you going to send out a frequency that cannot be denied? So this was a huge invitation for me to begin to recognize, how am I leading in what I'm saying, what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, where I'm at, where I'm showing. Am I showing up with the frequency, or am I showing up with force?
I am loving that so much. I think just to take a minute and sink that one in. You don't shift this world with force, you shift this world with frequency. So I think that's what I'm talking about. How can we rig our environments? Like when you don't have it inside, how can you rig your environment so that you can adjust your frequency to a state that's soothing and calming and effective? And so I speak a lot about just the placement of things around you. Like maybe if you
Mm,
for a walk and put some, if you find some leaves or a twig or a blossom on the ground or something, just to have that in your environment. So you're bringing some nature in. So you're soothing some nature.
absolutely. And I do want to recognize Liz's thought here, because this is interactive programming, y'all. So if you see, we drop your conversation to join the conversation. And Liz, you wrote, I wish I could afford healthy food. And I want to say, first of all, Liz, I'm praying for you and the world that this may be a movement where we understand that healthy food should not be a privilege, it should be a right. So I do what I can to help people to understand healthy food can actually be found, that it's really affordable. Just what are you choosing to eat, and where are you choosing to shop? But I'm not denying that what you're going through. What I want you to do, Liz, is if you could begin to ask Spirit to reveal to you where healthy food is that's affordable for you. I believe that we live in a world of infinite possibilities, and sometimes we need to go outside of our own thinking and our experience of the past and catch a new vision. That's why we're talking about visioning this whole month. How do we do that, and how do we ask Spirit to show us what we have not been seeing? That's why in life visioning, the final question we ask: what else do I need to know? What else am I not seeing here? What needs to be revealed? Which is the open-ended question that I get a spiritual dumping, a download dumping from that one question. It just, everything. I could go through the whole visiting and not hear one thing or see one thing. When I get to what else do I need to know, it's like, oh wow, that okay, that okay. And I really truly believe that's the beauty of life visioning.
Yeah. And so, Liz, I saw your message, like, I'm a negative Nancy today.
No.
So yeah, so let's do this though, Liz, and anybody else. Like we all have those moments. We all have those times when like everything sucks. It just feels like everything
Yeah.
sucks. So no spiritual bypass. Be where you are. And in this second half hour, so hang with us. We're going to start visualizing what we do want. And the reason why
Mm,
that's so important is like you can acknowledge what is, like if all the things that feel sucky right now. But then when you start to visualize with feeling tone, feeling is the secret sauce. When you begin to visualize, how do I want my life to be? And it's not a one off thing, it's like on a regular basis to develop the
mhm.
discipline to visualize what you want, to have affirmations that you speak with feeling tone, like with energy. And then you start to shift the frequency you're moving in, and also ask yourself, like, what's the payoff for keeping things status quo? Like I've had to ask myself, what's the payoff for me, being negative about certain things? What am I getting? And the first thing might be like, nothing, I don't want it this way. But if we're doing something repeatedly for a prolonged period of time, it's worth asking, is there any kind of payoff? Am I getting any
Yeah.
kind of benefit? And just see what comes up. Maybe nothing, but it's really good to ask that question. So, two
Mhm.
things, I know we're going into a break soon. If there's something you really don't like and it's been going on for a long time, ask, is there any kind of negative benefit? Do I get anything out of keeping things the way that they are? And you got to go deep, because the first the conscious mind will be like, of course not, I don't want this. But I would really go deep with that. And then the second thing is, let's take in the next half hour, let's really visualize
Yeah.
every aspect. Eating foods that feel healthy and nutritious and delicious and affordable, and wearing clothing that feels comfortable and good, and like all the things, all the things.
All
So,
the
and then
things.
that raises our energetic frequency, and you begin to magnetize towards yourself those kinds of
Yeah.
people, places, circumstances, and events. It's law, it's science, it's not airy fairy.
And if before we go on a break, I want to something popped into my mind. So thank you, Spirit, for popping this in my mind. One of the questions that we ask to get to a dark night of the soul is that if this would get no better, what quality would I cultivate to go through this dark night or this low vibrational experience? And I'm looking at what's happening on the planet, in our government, especially in America right now. And I'm cultivating, what I'm being called to cultivate is unity and compassion. That's what I'm here to cultivate throughout this time. Not to say that I don't put my head into the sand and pretend that someone didn't lose their life this week from a senseless tragedy, but yet I also know that love and compassion is there as well. Not a bypass, it's just a realization.
Hmm. I like that. What am I being called to? How did you word that? Even if
Sure, if
things
if
are,
this if this if it would get no better, if this whole situation would get no better, what would be the divine quality I must cultivate to get through this experience?
mm, yeah. Let's just take a second before
Yeah,
we go into
sure.
commercial.
I love that.
Let's take a second. I'm inviting everybody on the chat, everybody with us, everybody tuning in. What's a quality that you're being invited to cultivate? Yeah, I feel like I'm really being invited to cultivate like a heart as wide as the ocean, because I seem to have people from very
Mm,
different viewpoints that tune in, you know?
mm,
And so I need to cultivate a heart that has compassion for everybody. And that's what
mm.
I'm choosing to rise into. Yeah, I don't think we can. Oh, what did Akili Beckwith once said to me? Leave no person outside the walls of your heart. Leave no
Yeah,
person outside the wall. And I was like, well, okay, that's fine for all these people, but for that person, and he just kept repeating it, leave no person outside the walls of your heart, you
that's
know?
Kuan Yin intentionality. That's a Kuan Yin intentionality. Kuan Yin is a Hindu deity that decided to come to this earth and not leave until everyone was healed. This
Mhm.
Kuan Yin, energy, this bodhisattva, that's what I'm looking for. It's the bodhisattva energy. You're bringing everyone into the fold. I love that, Rev. It's powerful.
Yeah. And I want to share something else, because
Yeah,
my neck
sure.
is like on fire, itching right
It
now.
is
I
on
am
fire.
I'm like, I want to scratch it so bad.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
feel
right.
like I feel like from the hawk landing
Yeah.
on my balcony, which is way too high up and nowhere near a place hawks would be, to my neck feeling like it's on fire. I feel like my life is telling me like there's something for you to be here, and I really want to
Mhm.
set the intention for myself, and because people are tuning in, for all of us, there's something for us. We're in the
Mhm.
world at this time for a reason. So can we
Mm.
still ourselves enough? Can we pull ourselves away from screens long enough to get clear enough? Because I think when I'm paying attention, I don't think my neck's going to itch, because I'm going to be busy doing what I came here to do. right?
Right, right,
So
right, right.
that's my mission, is to really start listening more intently.
And when we get back, I got to share something else, another incredible nugget. So y'all are gonna have to stay tuned because
Yeah, yeah.
Michael Beckwith dropped another incredible nugget on his podcast this week. So we'll be right back here. Quick commercial. Don't go anywhere, and come back really soon. Here we go.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
And we are back, and here we are. You're glowing right now. So I'm gonna say you see the glow. You're glowing right now. So this is what, and we're gonna get some practices in, but I gotta share this little nugget. And I know we always talk about Michael Beckwith, and because he's our teacher, he's our friend, our mentor, spiritual director at Agape. And yes, I'm at North Hollywood, but my home is Agape as well. So and I listen to his podcast, and that has been keeping me very centered. I have a few people I listen to their podcasts to help me stay centered. Him, Jay Shetty, Mel Robbins, Iyanla Van Zant. I have my spiritual podcasts I love listening to, and Oprah Winfrey. It helps me on the commute. But this week, Michael said something. He called himself in, because we don't call ourselves out. We call ourselves into a deeper realization. And he was talking about visioning, that part of what must I release and let go of, giving space. And he talked about himself as he had to have some downtime, which means personal space for him to commune with spirit. And he said that if I'm so busy running a community, I'm not busy doing the work I was supposed to do because I'm not communing with God. And that just hit me so deep into my soul, because I like to be busy. If I can tell you I don't even call it a to-do list now, I call it the God list, but I got to revamp that and really ask God, is this mine to do today? Because I love it. If I give you my list of things that are happening at North Hollywood and with our podcast and the other things I'm doing, going to Bali, getting the book out, I am busy, but am I not giving the proper time to really commune with God? That's why he said we must be willing to look at what no longer serves and release it, so we can have more space to really be one with spirit. Or I'm paraphrasing now, but I got the message, Michael Beckwith. I got the message. Am I too busy for God? Am I too busy for God?
Oh, that's so great. Am I too busy for God? Yeah, and it's, it does happen that way, because
Right.
the more we do our spiritual work, the more we're called upon. I mean, that's
Mhm.
how I started when we met right before the show today. I was like, wow, I have a lot of opportunity coming to me right now. And so one of the things that's becomes more and more key than ever is that we
Mm.
start the day anchored, that we start the day that no matter what,
Ooh.
the spiritual practice, that tryst with spirit,
Ooh.
is at the forefront. And so that's
Mhm.
what I want to do right now, like
Okay.
tryst with spirit, like
Yeah,
have that
absolutely.
time to have that real love, that real connection, that real reminding, that we are always, no matter what's happening in the world around us, we are always loved and lovable and held and supported, and we're here to grow and evolve. So,
Absolutely.
um,
So if you
yeah,
could take us into a divine moment, some really connecting moments, and then I'm going to follow it up with some steps that we can take once we catch this vision, how to really
beautiful,
become an open vessel for a demonstration.
beautiful.
So this, yeah, I'm excited. Let's dive into some spiritual work. Yay.
Absolutely. So this is a great opportunity. We're going to be visualizing what you want. And what happens when we do that, when we visualize what we most want, is that you start to function at the energetic frequency, at the level of it. And on a
Mhm.
vibrational base, we attract like kind. So as you vibrate at the level of, dynamic prosperity, love, wholeness, all the things, you begin to attract. And then life gets really juicy and fun because sometimes it feels like, oh, it's a synchronicity. It's such a
Mhm.
coincidence that that happened, but it's actually frequencies attracting to one another. And so
Mhm.
that's the opportunity and the invitation right now. And the secret sauce, as I mentioned earlier, is your engagement, is your emotional
Mhm.
engagement. So as you visualize what you desire for yourself, and we'll do it in all areas of life, the secret sauce is how much can you get your feeling tone engaged. um, and then consistency is important. So
Mhm.
what we do today, maybe could you take 5 minutes every day to um, energize the world that you want to live in within your own body, within
Say, I
your own
love
self.
that word.
Yeah.
Consistency is just our commitment. We're committing to having something happen. That's consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're not driving or operating equipment, I invite you to gently, oh, exhale,
Mm,
breathe.
yes.
And you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable,
Mm,
and simply focus on the breath for a moment, breathing in full and deep and easy and relaxed. And on the exhale,
mm,
just let something go. Could we just let something go?
yeah. Yeah.
Breathing in through your nose if that's comfortable. And on the exhale, let some sound rumble out from low
Mm,
down in the belly, breaks up any coagulated thought forms or emotions. Just ha ha.
mm,
I'm going to invite you to take one hand and put it on the top of the opposite shoulder and then run it down the full length of the arm. And we'll do that for 30 seconds. So just taking one hand and run it down the full length of the arm, all the way down to the top of the opposite hand. This
mm,
sends a message directly to your nervous system. Many people talk about the nervous system as the second brain. The nervous system
mm,
functions throughout our entire body. We think throughout our full body system. So as you do this practice for 30 seconds, it releases oxytocin, that love hormone. It lets your
mm,
body know, I gotcha. I'm paying attention. All is well. It's just, we're soothing out the nervous system so we can become calm and relaxed enough to get clear enough
mm,
to have meaningful impact in our own lives and in the lives of those around us and in the life of humanity. It reminds me, Zach Bush, great public figure. He says that when people speak nicely to plants, they
mhm.
flourish. Like the plant actually changes. And I had a plant in the other room, and I'm telling you, it was dead, DEAD. And I just kept saying, I'm going to go throw it out. I'm going to go throw it out. And I just hadn't thrown it out yet. And then I decided, and it
Mm,
was it was just like, it's 5 feet tall, but it's just like a twig at this point. It had no leaves, no nothing. I decided to massage the soil. So I watered it, and I had both
what?
my I massaged the soil. I was in wrist deep, just massaging the soil, and I just started talking to it. And
Mm,
it's a prosperity plant. My prosperity plant looked like it was
I
DEAD.
love it.
And I got to tell you, it has all of a sudden these huge flowers blossoming all over it. I didn't even know that it was capable of that. So, what we're speaking about is consciousness and breath
Mm,
and being alive to your life. And as you breathe, on the exhale, release out, maybe shrug, maybe shake out anything that doesn't
mm,
serve you in this moment. Big cats, big panthers in the wild, what do? When they're on the hunt, they're taut, they're tense, they're tight. Every muscle's tight. So many of us are walking around constricted, tight. And then what happens after the big thing is over? What do? They shake it out. You are invited right
mhm,
now to shake it out. Shake it out of your cells. Shake it out of your body. You hold on to nothing. We're claiming freedom right now. We're claiming ease and grace and openness and availability to life.
mm.
And
Yes.
from this place, just bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, hold it really taut, tense, and then release.
Mm.
Let it go. Once again, bring the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. Make strong fists, bicep, triceps, hold everything, all the muscles, buttocks, legs, everything. Hold.
Mm.
Release, let go.
Yes.
Opening up to availability,
Mm.
this place of supreme availability to life. Simply take a moment to visualize your life as you most ideally desire it to be. You can imagine yourself seated in a comfortable recliner chair, allowing your whole
Mm.
body to be so well supported, legs supported, torso supported, head, neck, arms, everything well supported. Imagine there's a big flat screen TV in front of you, and you've got your own clicker, and you click it on, and you get to watch now 1 week in your life as you most ideally desire it to be. Notice how you dress, the kind of clothes you wear, the kind of foods that you eat, the kind of activities, who you interact with, where you go, what you do, as you most ideally desire yourself to be. Give yourself 1 full week in your life as you
Mm.
most ideally desire yourself to be. And now bring that film footage back to the very beginning. And this time, you're invited to step into it. So this time, rather than watching your life, be right inside of the film. Be in it. See what you see. Feel what you feel as you experience your life, 1 week of your life as you most ideally. So what do you like when you wake up? Waking up with energy, with zest, with excitement, with possibility. 1 week in your life as you most ideally desire yourself to be. What kind of nutrition? What kind of hydration? How do you tend to your physical body temple in the way that you most ideally desire? Notice every detail. How do you care for yourself? How do you tend to yourself? How do you adorn the body? How do you tend to the body?
Mm.
Notice how do you tend to your spiritual self? How do you nurture your soul? Do you take time to meditate? Do you stretch? Do you strength train? Do you get some steps in? 1 week as you most ideally desire yourself to be. Who do you spend time with? Where do you go? What do you do? How are you elevating life and more life by your very beingness? What is your passion? What do you care about? How do you dress? Who do you spend time with? Where do you go? What do you do? What's your health like? What's your wholeness like? 1 week, radiant, vital, strong. What's your love like? How do you share love? How do you be love? What's your prosperity like? 1 week as you desire it to be, visualize it fully. Imagine yourself living inside of it, feeling what you feel, seeing what you see, hearing what you hear. And then one more time, step out of the film, be back in that recliner chair and watch yourself 1 week as you most completely desire yourself to be, knocking it out of the park in health, in love, in prosperity. in spirituality, in contribution. Take a full, deep, easy breath. You can watch it through. You can take as long as you like, and it can go by in just milliseconds. Now, get one image of you fully being everything you are, God's source, life intended to be. Get an image, bright, radiant, compelling, feel the feels. When you're being everything you came here to be, make it so compelling, so powerful, so radiant, so brilliant. You being everything you are, God intended to be. Take an image in your mind's eye, take a big breath in and hold and hold and hold and hold and hold. Let it go. 2 more times. Breathe in, get an image in your mind's eye, you being everything you are, God intended to be. What's the quality? What's the feels? How does it feel to be everything you are meant to be? Make the image bright, compelling, radiant, strong, and hold and hold and hold. Let it go. One more time. Big breath in, image of you being everything that you are saying yes to in this lifetime, everything you claim, radiant, strong, powerful. Dress the way you want to dress, eating what you want to eat, being where you want to be. Big, 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 strong, clear. Hold, 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 hold. And let that imprint sink into every cell, every fiber of your beingness.
Mhm.
And we just allow it to settle. We let it soothe in. And as you're ready, Skip can just take it from there. Just
Yeah.
mm.
Well, this is very delicious and beautiful. And part of this work, and I found in speaking for myself, first of all, I love your plant. There is some energy around the plant. I just very, I'm almost captivated by Dr. Emoto's work around the water energy because we are 70 to, I actually, some people say we're 90% water.
Right, right.
So the energy we put into, we can take Dr. Emoto, if you don't know, Japanese scientist, saw the crystals of water and he could see where the positive energy of speaking to water was a whole vibrant, dynamic graphic of beautiful energy. And then the negative water or the water that spoke to it shrunk up. So I love this idea of plants and water and elements coming together to see science in action. And one of the things that I recognize within myself that when I catch a vision and I'm going after that vision, I'm fully full hearted into it. I have a tendency to experience something called the dark night of the soul.
Oh,
And this is natural as I'm reading more and more from different avatars in the world is saying you catch your vision, you're not quite there, but you know you're not right where you used to be. You're right in the center that has a experience that could be called the dark night. And
mm,
again, that's where that word cultivating comes from. How do I get through to my vision by cultivating some quality to get through to the next stage of the vision? One of the things I love about visioning, it speaks about discipline, which is discipline, and finding that discipline to carry
yes.
through to actually I'm becoming the vision. Therefore, I can't sit on my couch with the vision and
Mm,
expect it to manifest or demonstrate fully. Not to say that spirit won't send things your way, but I remember that old New Thought word that we used to say, treat and move your feet. I
yes,
believe in
yes.
vision. How do we get into action with the visioning? I believe, first of all, shift your thinking that anything you're looking to have a demonstration and you must be willing to become.
Mm,
And so if I'm visioning for more financial freedom, am I willing to become free in my finances? Am I
mm,
willing to free myself in giving to spiritual communities, giving to people that are making a difference on the planet? Do I see the abundance in my life that I feel free enough to give? Therefore, I shall receive. And you don't give to get anything, but it's just a law of circulation that happens. Part of this work for me has always been finding the love in creating the space for this vision to be manifested or demonstrated. There is some things that we have to follow up with Is there things that I need to, I get to drop into a space of, oh, if I'm here to lose 10 pounds, and I don't like to use a loss in weight as a measurement of healthy and wholeness, but if I want to be healthy and whole, I got to get off my couch and start moving.
Yeah.
Finding the joy in getting in and just going for a simple walk and breathing. So these steps that we're taking is finding the joy in every step of this transformation. Sometimes it doesn't feel joyful, but there's joy that's there. That's joy that is absolutely active in this process. I believe that these steps of really beginning to understand that this vision is within us, it's already happening, it's already being manifest, but I am in control with spirit. I'm co-creating this vision from my connection with spirit. So cultivating more of our connection with spirit is so important, so incredibly important. And I believe those are the incredible steps that we can take when we are stepping forth in the demonstration of the vision.
Yes. So let's break it down. I want to be really clear by the time we get off. Can you break it down into steps like bullet points?
Yeah. Well, the
Okay.
the first step I just said, change your thinking. When
Mhm.
you shift your thinking, and thinking becomes your belief.
And
So
how
if
do you
we
do?
are you shift your thinking by catching. I call this shift, recognize and shift. You recognize where you don't want to be, and you think about where you want to be. It's a very mental approach, and most people who drop into spirituality, they come from this mindset first. And we even say, shift your thinking, shift your life.
Yeah.
I believe your thinking becomes your belief. Your belief will manifest through you, and you'll have a demonstration from your belief. It is done as you believe. Some of us don't believe that we are worthy of abundance. Some of us don't believe it. So really begin by affirmations and mantras, shifting what's
Yeah.
happening here in what's happening. Mantra means tool for the mind, literally tool for the mind. Man meaning man or mind, tra meaning tool. So mantra. Um, I believe that it works. It begins the open door to really beginning to believing something new. And that's the first step of really beginning that shifting. The second step is get into
Can I
some
do
type of
something before
action.
you go? Can I
Sure,
do something with that before you go?
sure.
So, because I want to make sure that by the time we get off, so with that first thing, the suggestion is maybe come up with, 3 to 5 affirmations. And if you need to go to neutral rather than like
Mm,
the big, like amazing thing first, if you have to baby step it, you know?
yeah.
So if it's like, if it feels weird to say I am abundant and affluence is my name in nature, like if that's too
Mhm.
big, say, how about practicing all my needs are met? Like whatever, like if there's a baby stepping, but the suggestion is to come up with 3 affirmations that you can really work with, and then practice them like, Michael Beckwith again. He says he does like 10 or 11, or I don't know, one time he told me like 19 every day. But you got to do
Mhm.
it with feeling tone. So it's consistency, it's the discipline, because we could sit and complain day in, day out, week in, week out, but we have absolute dominion to shift our experiences. And so, if we can be like a buddy system here, an accountability
Mhm.
system here, maybe, let's, if you're willing, have an agreement, come up with a couple of affirmations. And for the next week, say the affirmations every day with feeling tone. So that's like as a number one.
Yeah.
And then what was your number two?
Number 2 was set the intention for your day. Really,
Yeah.
and even if you don't believe it, you can actually say, I am willing to have a beautiful day and everything to go well. I am open to having more abundance to flow through me than I've ever had before. It really setting intentionality for your day. For your day, what is the intention when you wake up in the morning? The day is going to be the best day ever. I mean, that's simple. The day is going to be the best day ever.
Love it.
And even if you don't believe it, you can speak it, and you're setting an intention, and you will see it. I believe it begins in that factor of knowing that I'm going to create a wonderful day. I've been saying this for a few years now. Instead of have a good day, be a good day. I am a
Yeah.
good day. I'm a good day. It's very simple. I am going to be a good day today. I'm not going to have a good day. I'm going to be a good day. And that gives you the empowerment of your oneness with spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, the law, how we're
Mhm.
creating our life. And I'm taking responsibility. I'm going to be a great day.
I love that. Yeah, we live
Yeah,
in a responsive universe. We live
we
in a
do.
responsive universe. So if we could, for those of us that are gathered here, if we could be kind of buddies for each other, accountability buddies, how about for the next week we do two things? We have, maybe you have two affirmations or three affirmations at most. Let's do that. And you say
Mhm.
every day with feeling tone. And at the start of every day, and how about at the end of every day, state your intention. At the start of every day, this
Absolutely.
is state your intention. And then how about at the end of every day, just be grateful. Even if it was a crappy day, find something to be grateful for. And let's see when we meet back here next week, if just doing those two things with consistency, see if you can start to notice. And then our job is to be on the hunt for what is working, because you'll find what you
Mhm.
look for. So you start to hunt for what works. Can we do that? I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we're out of time. So where can people find you? Where can
Find
people find you?
on
We just
Find me on Instagram at Rev Julie Moret. My book, What's Your What? How to Ignite Your Unique Brand, is on sale. It's half off. Folks have been buying it, and that's fun. So go for it. It's on Amazon, and it's What's Your What? How to Ignite Your Unique Brand. And you can give me your email address on my website at Julie Moret. And next time I have a class or I'm speaking, I'll let you know. How about you? Where can people find you?
I am on Instagram. I'm Reverend Skip Jennings on Instagram, on Facebook, and sometimes TikTok. You can go to my website, skipjennings.com, and find out more information on all the classes that are coming. I have a new class that's coming up called Journey of the Soul. That's going to be online and in person at the end of January. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to be kicking off the new class. So sign up for my newsletter. I'm creating a newsletter right now. Go to my website. You'll find out more information. And also, we are now another person has signed up for this trip. So we have room for 3 people to go to Bali with me. It's going to be a powerful
Love
trip.
it.
We are maxing at 20. So if you're one of these people that are saying yes, 3 people, I'm looking for you. We're going March 14th to the 27th. And that's going to be a powerful trip to Bali. We've already started purchasing the hotel rooms, and
Love
it's just
it.
everything's moving forward. So I am so grateful. Grateful.
Yes. Thank you for being with us today. Really enjoy these hours.
Absolutely. So good. So good. All right, y'all. So until next time, we love you. Remember, transformation is a choice. You chose today, and you showed up to the High Vibe Hour. Peace and blessings, y'all. Much love.
Thank you.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.